You can weave your way through the answer all you want, and everywhere you arrive is not a comfortable spot. This is not a comfortable spot for the San Francisco Giants. Tony Vitello last night called it a difficult puzzle to solve. You can say all of the things that they will say. Hey, we brought Bryce up to spark the offense. And a lot of people are like, and look, it is. It's working. They're hitting the baseball. Also true. Eldridge is probably thrilled to be in the bigs. He was earning his way through the minors for sure. But the Giants organization has been very, very consistent through the years with top prospects. When they bring them up, they want them to play. And Vitello spent a lot of time last night saying he's not going to play. In fact, most days he will not start. But when he does, the added thing here is that now you've got to go tell a high-priced veteran that they're sitting against their will. I don't know where you are on this, Dibs. It feels to me like most fans, and I get it, are like, tough stuff, Buttercup.
Put on your big boy pants.
That's right.
And deal with it.
See that bench right over there? They put it in the dugout for a reason. Use it.
Yeah, and just be ready to come in and pinch hit. And Chapman will not be out of the lineup tomorrow. He'll be back in the lineup tomorrow, and might be somebody else who has to come out depending on how things go. And what Vitello also said is, we're trying to win games. And, he says the future is bright is an understatement, but I think anything to do justice by its development is smart, but we're also trying to win games. So the mixed messages are all over the board, and I don't even know organizationally if they have a plan other than, hey, Tony, we want to play him as much as we can, but we respect the fact that you also want to win games, and so you're going to play Casey because he's your biggest producer. You're going to play Raffy because he's starting to lock in, and you're going to play Willy, and he's starting to lock in as well. So if the odd man out right now is Matt Chapman, well, you're going to have to sit on a Tuesday, and then maybe tomorrow you go in a different direction. Maybe you sit Luis Ariz for a night, or you figure out, can Casey go out and play left field? Every day is going to be a new way to solve the puzzle.
Let's zero in on Chapman for a second. Let's do that. And how would you feel right now if you were him?
I'd feel probably frustrated, and I don't think, honestly, I'd be that angry because he's not playing great. Offensively, of all the options, you're the obvious one to sit. You are 3 for 35 in the month of May. You've been patently bad at the plate. Defensively, you've been on less than your normal, unbelievable level. He's been fine. He's been better than fine defensively, but you understand it. It's a team that needs offense, and you're not providing offense right now. So you could be frustrated. I don't know how. I personally wouldn't be that mad. I'd be mad at myself because
I get that.
His numbers are down year over year since he came to the Giants.
Right, but we're also like, I guess I would look at it and be like, so wait, the small sample applies only to me? You didn't sit Willy Adames last week when Bryce arrived. He couldn't hit. His numbers are they're still worse than Chapman's.
It's close, but yeah, he's still...
Even after a hot streak, they're still worse than Chapman's.
Yeah, a little bit.
See, okay, boy, this is threading the needle right here. I get where you're coming from, and you're not wrong. And would he be mad at himself? Yes, probably. That's one of the emotions, but I would be pissed. I would be super pissed at the Giants.
Well, I mean, them's the breaks.
Yes, them's the breaks. I understand it. I'm not arguing against the whole, it's a performance-based industry. You got to perform. But I think it's easy for us out here as sports fans to look at that and just be like, tough cookies. You wouldn't like it at your job. I can tell you if we had a weird quarter and Nahigian walked in here and we're like, we're going to let you take one day off a week. Like the hell you will. What are you talking about?
Am I still getting my $25 million a year?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
But that
would make it a little bit easier to take.
That's not the only thing.
I know it's not the only thing, but it's a thing.
But if you feel ownership for something, if you feel ownership,
like the show, I got my name on the marquee.
Exactly. Then you have pride in what you're doing. And the other thing is you bring up money. Okay, you invested this money in me. Would you like me to try to work it out? Because I'm not going to work it out in the dugout. Like, I'm going to say the same thing about Chappie that I'm going to say about Bryce. You got to get out there and get your at-bats.
I mean, he's gotten his at-bats.
I understand
He's
that.
gotten 153 at-bats, and
Right,
you have one home run.
But now we're all, like, all of a sudden, everybody's like, okay, Raffy and Willy, let's go.
For right now.
Because they worked it out.
Because they're hot.
Right.
And you're
Chapman
not.
was, but for the first month and a half, Chapman was the one hitting, and those two dudes couldn't even make contact. And then they have a hot week, and we're like, yeah, Willy and Raffy. But you go sit.
Well, Bryce wasn't up then, so you didn't have the roster crunch that you have now. And so now you've got the young phenom up, and he does need to play more than one pinch hit at bat a game. And so you're in a spot where you're not taking Raffy out, and Casey's your hottest hitter, and you're not taking Adames out. It's you, Chappie. You're the guy who's not. It's been a couple weeks now where you haven't been very good offensively. So It's just one game. Like, if you're going to sit over there and be mad.
It's not just one game.
Well, it's one game tonight.
Yep, and it was one game last
be in there
week.
Wednesday.
And where does it go from here? Like, again, you're the one who, I mean, we talked about, like, Slusser has said it, Pavlovich has said it, Justice De Los Santos just said it. None of these guys are going to be cool with one game a week. And yes, you are totally fair to respond, tough cookies, bud. You can absolutely respond that way. I'm just telling you, that doesn't erase the problem. It doesn't erase the issue.
The issue is that he's not hitting. But that's the issue.
Right, but by the way, like, if we're going to just spotlight the last week, why couldn't Chapman say, Bryce isn't hitting either? He's 2 for 14 and he looks overwhelmed at the plate.
Right.
So why are you putting him in instead of me?
He has as many home runs as you do, and he's had 14 at-bats.
That's fair.
And you've had 153, and you've got one home run.
But do you see the fight? Like, all I'm telling you is that you can give numbers all you want, and you're right, and Matt will still be pissed, and let's not act like that's not a thing. This is professional sports, big dollars, big investment, and these guys are ultra competitive. So I'm not going to disagree with any of your points with regard to he's struggling, tough stuff. Like, I'm not going to disagree with you, but I'm still telling you that the same thing is true going forward, which is that Bryce got called up and doesn't have a spot, and now you're going to additionally start to get into emotional warfare to some degree with your high-priced veterans. This is a game of chicken, and there's no – Vitella wants an answer to the puzzle. Tough cookies to you, too. There is no answer to the puzzle.
It's a different answer every day.
Exactly.
And that's where it's going to have to be something where you thread that needle. And the worst-case scenario tonight is also the best case, which is Adames and Devers and Bryce Eldridge. They all hit. And Casey Schmidt, you hit again. And Arise, you hit. Everybody hits. And Chappie sits, and so then you wake up tomorrow, it's like, man, we beat the Dodgers 11-10.
Yeah, what do you do?
What do we do, hot shot?
What do you do?
What do we do? Because, man, I mean, Eldridge was 3 for 4 with a double and a home run, and, Adames hit, and Raffy hit, and everybody hit. It was a hit party. And Chappie, you got a day off, but Chapman's thinking, I'm playing on Wednesday. Yeah, okay. Who you sitting? And that's where it becomes a good problem, but also a nightmare.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good problem to have.
Well, it's good if you score 11 runs.
It is.
I mean, that's good.
Let's not act like they're just going to go do that every night.
No, they won't.
You know what I mean?
But right now you have a number of guys who are, trending toward being hot.
Yeah.
And, you're not going to go to Raffy after what he's done of late and say, yeah, we're going to sit you on Wednesday.
Of course not. That's Raffy Devers. Raffy, by the way, is in a completely different category than the other guys, I think. That's Raffy Devers.
Right.
There's only one of these guys. I get it that a lot of them, the back of the baseball card and the resume, the history. There's only one guy on the Giants who has been a longtime elite hitter at the major league level. That's Raffy Devers. That's different. You're over there.
Chapman is 8 for his last 64.
I know.
And because I just went back and looked at his log, he was hitting 303 after they lost at Washington. And he had 2 hits. He was 2 for 4. He went up to 303, and now he's hitting 229. So over the next 3.5 weeks, it's been an ongoing sea of 0 for 4s and 24 strikeouts over that period. Chappie's he's in a bad way. So you can be mad that you're going to sit, but go ahead and look at your game log, Matt, and see who's really mad now.
Yeah, but see, again, you're still picking a fight. Like, I get it.
It's impossible not to.
No, you didn't have to call up Bryce Eldridge.
But you wanted to call him up because he forced his way up here with the way he was hitting.
I disagree with that. I want to talk about that for a second. I got a question for you. But first, you're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco, and Odyssey Sports Station, the home of the Golden State Warriors and Valkyries, always live on the free Odyssey app and coming to you live from the Laughing Monk Studios. Are you telling me that you want to remove from the conversation entirely that last Sunday night, when news broke that Bryce Eldridge was coming up, you want to remove marketing from that conversation entirely?
Of course not.
Okay, then if I'm Chapman, I've got a problem. That's what I'm getting at. It's not that you can't sit here and say, dude, you're struggling. It's not that you can't say, hey, you're 0 for 11 in your career against Yamamoto.
Right.
Which means as soon as we knock him out of this game in the 6th inning, you're going to be my prime pinch hitter, a late game defensive replacement, and all of those things just for tonight. Don't worry, you get to face Ohtani tomorrow. But if I'm Matt Chapman, I'm sitting here going, you guys, your investment is on this infield. This is what around whom you have built this team. And you have got to let us work through our struggles, or else this team is going nowhere. And
it's just one game, Matt.
But it's not just one game.
It is tonight.
We've been doing this every day for the first time in the history of my life.
But he's only sat one other time.
I know, but that's not my point. My point is the daily deal. This is good. Boy, all roads. Here we go. Remember before the season started?
Yeah.
I'm like, this is going to wear everybody out.
I said it has a great chance of working.
And I said it's going to wear everybody out.
And
what did it do?
worked.
And it wore. No, it didn't.
A couple weeks it worked.
Exactly. And then it wore everybody out. And this is going to wear everybody out. Not just Chapman.
Well, they're going to find a resolution to this well in advance. Yeah, Buster's already pulled a trade. And I think that...
Which didn't open up anything for these guys.
No, but it showed that he is not afraid to make a move well ahead of the deadline.
Sure.
And it's pretty clear from behind the scenes and a few people I've talked to that Buster wasn't really into the way Patrick Bailey was going about catching. And I'm sure there was some feedback that was offered, and Bailey either took it or didn't take it. There was the confusion about what pitches they're supposed to call. I don't think that there was a seamless amount of connectivity organizationally between the catcher and the president of baseball ops, which is why he gets traded in early May.
Maybe, but I also don't think, everyone talks about what happened in Philly when Ryan Walker threw 12 straight of the same pitch or whatever. You're not going to trade a 2-time Gold Glover guy because you got into a disagreement with him about one game. This has to run deep on something. And at the end of it all, dude, you don't hit enough. Like, you're really good on defense, but there's a line where you have to at least be over here. We can't, again.
Well, Buster Posey is the legendary catcher in the organization, and so you have a catcher who's not doing the things that you want him to do, and he's not playing as well as you would like him to play, and so you're a former catcher, and you're like, I'm trading this guy.
He can't hit.
The sack can hit.
He can't hit.
No, and Jesus Rodriguez can also hit.
I don't know if he can catch.
We'll find out. He can't catch in right field. We know that.
Right.
There's that part of it.
I don't know if he can throw a runner out who's trying to steal.
Yep.
I don't know these things yet.
Well, pitching and defense, as much as we think that that's what this team should be about, it's clearly not about that.
Out the window.
Arise has been good at second base, better than we thought.
They lucked out on that.
I mean, he's been playing well, so yeah.
No, go around the diamond. Chapman's on the bench tonight. What do we got?
Adames I think he's a pretty good shortstop.
He's okay.
He'll make a ghastly mistake every now and again.
He's all right. This is not bad.
Devers has been fine at first.
But also, this is not an elite defensive player.
No. Casey Schmidt at third tonight, I think. He's a solid third baseman. He doesn't get a lot of time over there, so we'll see.
Downgrade from Chapman, though.
Elliot Ramos in left can be an adventure. Bader in center, I think, is a good defensive center fielder.
Now that he's back, yes.
And Jung Hoo in right is, I was surprised to hear Justice De Los Santos talk about like the advanced metrics and the lack of range and the routes to the ball and all the rest of it. So, you're not a pitching and defense team.
And you just traded your Gold Glove catcher.
And you're pitching a guy tonight with a 6 ERA, who you signed to a 2-year deal. So pitching and defense, not so much. So you want your hitters to be in there, and your Gold Glove third baseman isn't hitting, so now you sit.